Are we getting the center screen switched over?
Lots of action. Alright, once we get over C, guys, just bail out and try Captain C. Alright, bail.
The new conglomerate has taken the facility.
Alright, looks like we're good.
Squad leader, can you turn up your mic?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third and final day of E3 and this Planetside 2 presentation live from the Sony Online Entertainment booth in the West Hall. If you happen to be coming along to E3 today, then by all means stop by. You can check out the game and try from all of the faction perspectives. All three of them, we have stations set up for everything. My name is Totalbiscuit and I'm joined by Maggie once again. Welcome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad that we're able to do this.
We are awake.
Thank you guys for joining us.
On day 3 of E3, that's in itself an achievement I have tended to notice at this stage.
We still have our voices, so...
Yeah, that's good.
Good job at C,
That's good. I have no idea if we'll have it later, but it'll work. It should be good. So, yesterday you saw a heck of a lot of aerial action in this game. Planetside 2 being a combined arms, massively multiplayer first-person shooter, but vehicular action is a focus, as well as infantry action. So, a lot of airplay. An attempt to gain air superiority as galaxy drops were coming in over the base, dropping entire squads of infantry onto objectives, which, as it turns out, was super effective.
Super effective, and it won them the base. NC pretty much held the base for a long period of time, as well as the TR.
That is very true. Yeah, they did, which was impressive, to say the least. Now, we are going to be seeing quite a lot of armor battles today. The QA testers really wanted to get into tanks and show you scale for tank warfare that you just haven't seen. More often than not in a first-person shooter, if it's got vehicles in it, in a multiplayer scenario, you'll maybe see 1 or 2 tanks on the battlefield at any given time. So you can have hundreds in this particular game.
Thousands if everyone
in theory, if everyone was in a tank, you could have 2,000 lightning tanks if you wanted. That would be messy.
Would be so fun.
That would be messy.
So fun.
It would absolutely be fun. So we're hopefully going to see a little bit of that today. And of course, we'll be showing you gameplay perspectives from all 3 factions from the testers over at our booth in the West Hall. What we want to show you first, though, is something we haven't had a chance to show you, which is the kind of statistical gathering mechanisms that we've got in place for Planetside 2. This is the kind of stuff that you see with first-person shooters, things like Battlelog and Call of Duty Elite. This, however, doesn't cost you anything, and it's extremely in-depth, so why don't we hop over? It is, yeah.
You're going to be able to see this update in real time. Just like Battlelog, you're going to be able to see all your statistics, and on this front page right here, this is an overview of one of the fellows here. So you can see their kill-death ratio, which is their overall stats right there. You can see what classes they've played most. Their top weapons, their top vehicles, and then you can go into further detail in all of those. And then on top of that, you can go into weapon customization, vehicles. You kind of see everything, and it's really awesome. Actually, if you want to scroll up and show you some of that, like actually click on weapons and vehicles right there, up at the top.
Great job, it's way to hold the base.
It shows you your certification progress. You can actually look up other people, so we can do the search button right there to the right. And you can see these are a bunch of people that have been playing throughout the week, so yeah.
Yeah, you can check out everyone you want there, just click on them. Obviously, this is not entirely complete yet, but this is an example of what you're going to be seeing here. You've got this big feed to the side, which is going to give you all sorts of information. You can like your friend's status, you can actually put in a status update of your own.
Hate messages?
You could do that too, yep. Although we would encourage you to just dial it back just a little bit. It is only a video game after all.
We're going to allow you to outfit recruit, add your friends. And this is going to be a great way to actually recruit people into your outfits and find out, like, hey, is this person actually really good or not? And you'll be able to see that all throughout data. And this is just our player site. We're going to be giving this data away for iOS and Android. So everyone can make their own applications. You can use them. But we're going to have this one for free, live for you guys. And remember, we're a free-to-play game. So this is all data that we're going to have. We've already had this. We actually have some iPads running around here somewhere. I don't know if someone can bring one up to us.
We're giving
but we actually have an application on our iPad.
Let's take back our base.
Our iPad that we have over here.
Yeah.
And You can talk to your friends via text and via voice. Right there, you can join up in squads, chat with them in your outfit chat, whatever channels that you want, and actually text them or message them. So if you're going to be late for a raid, it's a great way to do that. And think about this. Our application already works right now, and we're not even in beta yet. So we're going to continually make this better. Right now, you keep looking through some of our vehicles, and we're just going to keep adding to this.
Yeah. The application is so impressive that it can pull data that doesn't exist yet.
I can't wait to see what the players make, because you guys have a lot more time to like dedicate to some of these things, and I think that we're going to have some awesome applications out there for Planetside 2.
A serious amount of data available for pretty much everything here.
We're giving it away.
Yeah, well, when it goes live, you're going to be able to see things like individual certifications. If you want to check out what your friends decided to do, or even what one of your rivals wants to do, and what he's certified into, it's like, how is he so good? How is he achieving these objectives? How is he just pulling things off better than I am? And you can go and look at it, it's like, oh, right, so he's, say, certified as an infiltrator, and he's picked up this particular cloaking device, he's got these certifications on this rifle. That's why he's performing so well in this role.
Remember, we are allowing you to certify in various ways. So even though you're all an infiltrator, you're all going to be able to spec a different way and, you know, provide something different on the battlefield.
Absolutely. Obviously, some of this is not quite available because the game isn't actually live, but you're going to be able to have a look at outfits, leaderboards here, as well as the status of the planet. I think this is going to be the thing that people are most interested in, because when they say go to bed after a hard-fought battle, they will want to come back and see how have things changed? How has the battle progressed? They'll be able to see that updated in real time, not only on the website, but on the iPad app as well.
Yes, I would also like to mention that on our iPad, or on our application that you guys can have, we'll also have real-time data on the map. So you can actually look at Vindar or whatever map that you want to and check it out. You can see, we actually have this on the floor today, so you can see the data, you can see what they've captured and what they haven't, and it's real-time data. This is what is happening at the current moment. And these are all free. This is something that you can just have. And remember, our game is free to play as well.
Indeed it is.
So if you're not able to get in the game, you can always do this.
You can, yeah.
Well, sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling that will end up happening quite a bit. The disturbing thing, I suppose, is that the iPad app also has in-game voice chat. So you can chat to people in-game, like, where are you exactly? Yeah, we would not recommend this, by the way. But never mind. There you go. That's some of the information you're going to have access to. We may be able to show you some of the iPad app a little bit later.
To bring us over an iPad app.
Certainly, we can definitely check it out on the camera. But I think people are wanting to see some more in-game footage. So why don't we hop back in-game? Let's start off with the perspective of a new conglomerate Max unit. These heavily armored exosuits. And he's found himself a friend that I believe that's actually friendly. Might not want to be killing that. He's going to try to anyway. Never mind. So a little bit of blue on blue action. It used to be blue. Now it's just charred to a crisp.
Yes, and I'd like to mention that this is our Max, so if you're new to the channel right now, our Max can dual wield, and you can customize these separately. We're allowing you to customize the weapon separately, so you can have a flamethrower in one, and then an AV weapon in another. And what you saw that guy doing right now, that was an engineer, he was repairing that Max. Engineers are another one of our classes. We have 6 classes in Planetside 2, and that is just one of them. And that Max, or that engineer, can repair Maxes and vehicles. And they can also deploy turrets and some shield stuff to it that they put on the ground.
But some little light armor skirmishes at the moment, only about 4 or 5 tanks. We're going to be seeing a lot more of that as we end up going through. Interestingly enough, the Max here is being used as an anti-vehicle platform. This can be done. It can be a little bit risky. It's very situational, as the Max is a large, cumbersome target, can't turn very quickly.
Can't get in a vehicle. Well, it can't drive a vehicle. So if you want, if you have friends, this guy probably doesn't have friends. But if you did, you could get in Thunder or Galaxy, which are some of our support vehicles that are nanite systems. So everyone can have those.
In this case, he's been doing pretty well, actually, with his anti-vehicle mortar on his right arm. Found himself a free kill there. Now, this is something you can't do at the moment, which is you cannot ride other factions' vehicles. If a vehicle belongs to someone else, you can't get on it. In the original game, it was possible to actually hack a vehicle as an infiltrator. Oh dear, this is not going to go well for him, but he manages to deftly maneuver his way out. That's impressive.
So that's the thing about the Flash. The Flash is all about, he actually didn't do quite as much damage as I thought he was going to do with that.
Oh my.
What they can do is they can get in there, shoot a bit, and then get out really quickly. So he could have actually kited that Max around for a bit if he wanted, but that Mag Rider, these Mag Riders are awesome.
Yeah, they are pretty ridiculous and obviously should be nerfed into the ground immediately.
Oh, come on.
What can I say?
I'm just jealous.
It's obviously just not fair that this thing can float around, has energy weapons.
Right now that you can see this, since he's just standing there, you can see that he has a different optical scope right here. We're allowing you to change out your optics and your utilities. And also you can see that he has some camo, so we're allowing you to do that as well. And you'll be able to put a little decal out there. So, lots of customization for you.
Indeed, that's what the game is all about, trying to make your soldier look as ridiculous as possible. At least that's what it's about for me. Maybe that's just a personal thing.
I just like looking awesome on the kill cam whenever they get killed.
I just like looking silly on the kill cam, honestly. You notice there that...
You're playing some other games doing that.
Yeah, just a little look at the store right there. That is not complete. I've got to stress, that's nowhere near complete, but it does show you the kind of thing that will be available. Please do not take those values as complete, because they're nowhere near that. But it does give you kind of an example of the in-game store and the stuff that you can access directly from inside the client.
You can see right here also that he has a stats page. You can look at all those stats in-game too. So those stats that we were showing you on the player side, you can also see those in-game. So you don't have to actually leave the game if you don't want to. But that's just also available for you if you're like at work and you can't play the game.
I'm going to transition through to night at the moment. It is dusk.
So beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. It gets darker than this, much
darker. Look at all
darker.
those tracers and all the debris. It just looks so rad at night.
I'm very surprised this guy's still alive, actually. We've had aircraft falling from the sky since we started here.
And we actually just got an iPad, I keep calling them iPods, iPad case right here for us whenever we want to switch to that.
We will have a look at that very shortly. Infiltrator's doing rather well at the moment, staying in the shadows, avoiding engaging anything he can't take on, like a tank, for instance.
Let's hold our base.
At the moment, the new conglomerate has control of the base. They're holding on to two out of 3 points, actually. The Terran Republic's not getting a look in, sadly, and the Varna Sovereignty have control of point C.
I'd also like to mention that since we are on the Infiltrator right now, you can see that he has a fuel system. So Infiltrators will be able to pick up various Infiltrator cloak abilities that they can switch from. So maybe they want to, stay really still and be completely invisible. But if they move even slightly, you'll be able to see them. So we'll have a variety of options for them like that.
Get ready for more galaxy drops.
They can only cloak for the amount of their fuel. And each cloak ability will have a different fuel system.
Indeed, now's the perfect time to pick that off. Actually, sadly, misses the shot's going to be very careful. Infiltrators are not well armored. He scoots out. In fact, there's a couple of Vanu on the top there. Something to consider with Planetside is that, yeah, you can be attacked from the top of walls. Verticality is a big deal because there are so many ways of getting up higher than your opponent. Nice bull in the action at the moment, trying to find himself a target. He knows where he is, but he can't get him from there just yet. Vanu playing, being very smart at the moment, not exposing himself to sniper fire.
Some snipers on him a little bit, but he's kind of having a terrible
We need a lot more tanks there. Control point internally.
Yeah, one shot, one kill can happen.
Something that you will have to note with Infiltrator 2, especially if you're not a Vanu, is that you do have bullet drops, so he's not really compensating for that bullet drop. He's kind of just like shooting and not realizing that the bullet's dropping from that far of a distance.
That's very true, and I've got some max-on-max warfare. The sniper rifle can be used in this scenario, but it takes a little bit of work to make its way through that heavy exosuit armor. And
headshots are super important for Infiltrators especially, but a lot of the other classes as well. And that's something that you didn't get to see in the original Planetside was directional damage. And that applies not only to our infantry classes, but it also applies to our vehicles. So depending on how you armor your vehicle can be more vulnerable on the sides or behind or in the front.
Max finally ends up going down. He got himself a critical assist there. Didn't pick up the kill, but regardless. Actually,
oh my gosh.
Don't do that.
He killed his friend.
Oh dear. That's kind of depressing.
And then he's like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that.
The humanity of it all.
So if he was actually a medic, he could probably revive him.
He could, yeah. Not something we've seen a huge amount of our players at the test stations just yet.
I think they just haven't quite learned all the synergy between all the classes yet.
Bill, we're coming in hot.
Oh, I love the explosions at night. They look awesome. I think this is something that you don't get to see in other games is nighttime gameplay.
It is dark.
It's really dark. You actually might want to carry a flashlight with you.
You can do that. You can also use, of course, infrared scopes. Sniping at night can be a challenge, which is why you may want to switch out to something a bit more suitable for nighttime gameplay.
And I would like to note that we allow you to make various loadout customizations. So you can make a nighttime loadout, and you can name it that too. I don't think I mentioned that previously, that you could name your loadouts, but you can change your loadouts, name them, equip them however you want. It's a quick, easy way for you to get your gear.
Terran Republic Heavy Assault Trooper is taken down by a friend, as
just like I like to see.
These traitorous Terran
Elmo's
Republic.
killing Elmos.
Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that.
And what you're seeing here right now is a drop pod. This is the way that you squad spawn onto your teammate. And it makes you really vulnerable because everyone can see you dropping down. So you have to be really careful about that. But it does look really awesome at nighttime when you have a ton of people dropping down. Looks badass.
That it does. Nighttime is actually transitioning. Well, you just did. So it's a 17+ show. I'm sure we'll be fine with that one. But we're transitioning now back to the day cycle. As to how long a day-night transition will actually take, well, that's kind of debatable.
Right now we have it set to an hour, but we haven't decided exactly how long we want it to be. We do want you to have like a gameplay session and get to see that. Because this is a living, breathing world. It's not just a, hey, I'm going to be here for 15 minutes and then I get a loading screen. This is a game where you actually live in a world and you are killing everybody.
Yeah, that's essentially all the world is about. It's a perpetual war. There's no focus on anything else. You cannot permanently die in this world. Your data pattern is stored. Your DNA is stored. You are respawned, essentially.
See, you can actually see some of the customization here, too. He's got the laser dot sight and the laser right there, too, as well.
Yep.
He's getting... Oh, Max.
That is not where you want to be!
And did you see that? He actually had a flamethrower. I wish we could switch to that guy. Because... Yeah, I think Station 3 has the Max with the flamethrower.
I think it does. Let's switch to Station 3.
It just looks so cool at nighttime. We haven't been able to get to see that as often.
Double flamethrowers. That's a specialized build if I've ever seen one. Absolutely worthless. Worthless outdoors, but damn does that look good. Oh dear.
Oh no, he's toasted.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
He needs to remember that this is a close range weapon, so he needs to get really close to him. That's the disadvantage of having a flamethrower.
Yeah, you're not going to live long under that. Station 3 massacring around that point.
Oh, toasted.
Good lord. Perfect for defending close points like this. Yeah, you don't want to be there. He's trying to deploy a turret.
No, the turret will probably kill him. Oh no, he got it.
Well, it was a nice use of the turret, actually, and Max just stays alive, needs to be healed by an engineer. The turret actually deploys a shield.
Got 1 bar, as you can see.
Yeah.
And I do want to mention that this is a different style UI. We're going to allow you to customize your UI in various ways, and this is our more central UI. So if you haven't seen some of the previous games that we've been showing, this is the central UI. You can see his health down there at the bottom, and if he had fuel, you get to see that as well. I think you'll be able to see some of the normal MMO style.
More tanks support Charlie. We're going to do another drop at Charlie. We're going to take back our base.
And what you're hearing people do over the intercom right there, where they were coordinating, this is our in-game Vivox system. So we have a voice system in our game that allows you to talk to your teammates. You can make your own channel, password protect them, have your outfit have its channel, etc. So really customize the channels and the voiceover.
All right, we're taking off. We're going to take over Captain Point Charlie.
I think it's one of the greatest things. I think TV is just in awe of this flavor.
I'm just trying to figure out when exactly the other guys will realize that going in close range against a double flamethrower Max is a terrible plan.
And he's got an engineer friend who just keeps coming over there repairing him.
Yeah, it's fantastically effective. That's exactly what we want to see from just individual squad tactics. This is just 2 people who are able to hold a point because the other guys haven't quite figured out how to do it yet. What we need is another Max to come through.
Is where your homies are at.
I have no idea.
They are on the map. At least they're not capturing any points. You can see right here in the left-hand corner, this is our ticket system capture point. Every time I mention that, someone always dies.
It has a tendency to happen. It's a curse. It's a horrible curse.
But that's just only one style of capture points that we're going to have. We're going to switch that up based on, you know, what point it is, and it might even switch between bases on the exact same base. But this one is where you have to capture the points as quickly as you can. The more you hold them, the more you get points. And oh, looks like they might have captured something. Your buddies.
Yeah, they actually managed to make their way through C as soon as that Max was taken down.
I like how you switched to one because you're like, what are they doing?
What are they up to? Do I have to go and slap someone and get them going? We need a slave driver back there with a whip. That would work.
Well, yesterday I was having I had to cheer over there for the Vienu.
Oh, it didn't work out so well. They're still
lost.
So
as you can see, it's quite a jog. The world is pretty big, and this is just one section of it, you know? So he kind of had to walk. If he would have grabbed a vehicle, it might have been a lot faster.
May have been, but as a light assault class, you do have that mobility that the other classes lack.
Yeah, you noticed that. He was able to just
jump over the wall.
Yeah.
Perfectly valid. Like, you can have entire squads of troopers.
Oh, it looks so awesome, too. It's especially at night because you get to see the contrails from their jet.
Yeah, which is lovely. Like, what I would love to see actually is an entire platoon, 30 light assault members, all doing a mass jump over a wall. Totally valid strategy. Was even done in the original Planetside with the Vanu Max units that had jump jets at that point. But now every faction has access to a jump jet class that can be used to assault higher walls of a base or get that vertical advantage over everybody else.
Hopefully my home dogs can keep this base. Currently the Vanu Sovereignty on the base, but they might lose it to the NC if they do not protect their base.
Yep, they're going to have to cap another point.
One more cap point and then they win it.
Yeah.
I bet you Clegg is back there helping all the NC out and not helping anyone else.
Does the job. Well, yep, that's the facility captured. And as you see, once it captures, all of the points revert over to the ownership of the faction in question. And in a live game, what you would expect to happen here is for the cleanup to begin. The NC has control of the base, they have control of the spawns, vehicle spawning, they get their vehicles out, they clean up any remaining pockets of resistance, and then they move on to their next objective. Sadly, oblivious Vanu player there. Quite a few oblivious Vanu players, actually. This is looking good for the Terran Republic.
Yeah, he's actually doing quite well. What was his kill streak that time?
I think he's on 3 at the moment. Unfortunately, he is being approached by a max unit.
As you can see, he can melee. Oh, and he's going to get all up close to him.
He got him.
Well, get it. Yeah,
that max was equipped with anti-vehicle weapons, which is not all that effective. Max units, they sound great in theory, but they also are quite specialized. Don't shoot your friend.
The TR
What's wrong with you?
Notorious for that. Oh my goodness, that was funny.
Horrible violence. Well, the TR actually own all 3 capture points at the moment, so they're going to be getting some points on the board very shortly. The question is, can they hold them?
Looks like they're trying to. You actually saw an infiltrator there and a heavy assault with them. Oh, friends shooting at him. It's not nice.
Well, you know, you get a bit trigger happy, I suppose. You get an itchy trigger finger. In the live game, if you do that, there will be consequences. Right, it is, yes. It's not going to be a scythe for much longer by the looks of it.
Oh, he's doing pretty good. He got in between there.
Every time we've seen someone do that, they generally crash into the wall. It's very amusing to watch.
Well, we've seen some good guys get actually right underneath, you know, different passes and in between other buildings. Takes quite a bit of skill, but once you get it down, it's pretty awesome.
Pretty heavy attack going on here. A heavy assault unit versus a new conglomerate max, and he manages to pick him off.
Yeah, but I think, did he kill a friend too in the process?
Well, as long as you take the max unit down, I think a couple of friendly casualties is an acceptable compromise for that.
All TR, capture point A.
Am I a horrible person for thinking that?
It looks like all the TR are going to capture point A. So maybe we might want to check that out.
Yeah, well, we've got one of our TR players actually respawning here.
All the in this galaxy, we need troops in this galaxy.
You know why the TR's not winning at the moment? They're too busy trying to buy giraffe camouflage for their infantry.
What they don't know is we already have that on them by default.
That's true.
So this is just some of our marketplace. Obviously it's not finished. We're just, you know, trying to work on that.
Use some nice indications of the kind of things that are going to be available. All of this is subject to change, needless to say. And you'll notice that these are stat upgrades. They can't be bought with cash. They can be bought with Araxium only, which is a resourcing game.
Yep. We have various resources, and how you attain those resources is through capturing territory. And as you can see, this is just, that's actually our map right there. They're only in one little tiny section of the map. Our map is huge, and there's thousands of players on that single map, and here he's hot dropping in on his teammates.
Alright, once we get over...
And he's got the cool camo. This is my favorite camo. I don't know why, I love it so much.
Alright,
just looks awesome at nighttime too.
Focus on... All VS, bail.
Vanu's Sovereignty Infiltrator.
Someone said the TR are even bigger scum.
Bail.
Yeah, but we're so good at being bigger scum. We are the best bigger scum. Oh my, that's not where you want to be. Admittedly, that max unit was actually quite weak. He could get a snipe on there, but I think the friendly max for the Vanu has managed to pick that up.
Good job, VS. Way to cap C. Now let's all push towards A.
Aw, look at that. See, the VS are so nice.
Good job, guys. They're cheerleaders with pom-poms over there. I prefer the more aggressive approach.
We've actually equipped all of these stations with headsets and with microphones so that they can communicate with each other. So it's pretty awesome. And we have some guys at back at the San Diego studio who are also
Hey guys, what?
squatting up with these guys, helping them out. Oh, the contrails. This is the Scythe.
Varna-specific interceptor aircraft can also be fitted out as a ground attack aircraft. A little bit flimsy, but very maneuverable.
He's actually got a lock on right now. That's why he's trying to fly all over the place. He's trying to get, you know, behind rocks, trees.
Yeah, these things can turn on a dime, so you don't really want to use them like a traditional aircraft. Utilize the advantage of being able to rapidly change speed and actually stop and then turn around. At the moment he's using it in more of a ground attack role with those plasma rockets. Fantastic for strafing tanks and vehicles on the ground or infantry at the moment.
Well,
however,
this is great. You can actually see the whole battlefield right here.
Yeah, it's a good viewpoint to have. Oh my. He picks up the vehicle, takes a lot of damage in the process.
Hopefully he's an engineer and he can land and maybe get some repairs because he really needs it.
Yeah, he's lighting up like a Christmas tree at the moment, which is actually one of the other disadvantages. He's going to bail and straight into that. Turns out if you throw yourself at a metal girder at 300 kilometers an hour, no amount of armor is going to save you. Who'd have thought it?
I think he was hoping to land on top of the building so that he could do some sniping, but that didn't.
That did not work out for him.
He was moving a little too fast for that.
But it was nice actually to see. A lot of people, I suppose, view battle damage as very much a cosmetic thing. And they're right, you know, taking additional damage in a vehicle, it's not going to affect its performance in this game at the moment. But it does make you really easy to spot at night. You're on fire, your engine's giving out sparks, sputtering all over the place. You are a gigantic target.
Here you have the VS Max. That's awesome.
As we like to call it, the Zoidberg Max. In its very early development phase, it had some animation issues that made it look somewhat like a lobster.
Well, it was because we were using one of the other Max's animations, just that way we could get the art in and check it out, make sure that it's working properly.
This facility back,
I'm almost disappointed that you fixed it,
I
honestly.
know, a lot of people wanted us to keep it.
Why not Zoidberg?
Alright, once I get us over C,
You can actually see that he's customized the look of each of his weapons a different way, so one has a more blue, purple on it, and the other one has like the gray and the purple together. Max versus Max, so there's two Maxes!
Yeah, and one of them has anti-vehicle weaponry.
Oh, we got one down!
Second one is gunned down.
His friend was not.
It would have been nice if he'd helped, yeah. He was very helpful to the Terran Republic, and I can applaud him for that. A lot of dead players going on right there.
Look at that galaxy.
Ooh, it looks like this galaxy actually has quite a few people in it. It's just missing about 4 slots. Ooh.
Full-on galaxy drop was going on there. We had one of the players actually fall onto the top of the facility. There you go.
Yeah, I think he didn't listen for the
training man, hallelujah. There you go.
We need more tanks at C, more tanks at Charlie.
That's a galaxy drop in action. Shows how effective it is. You could storm a point. In this case, they only dropped 7 players. They could drop 12.
Yeah. So a little over squad.
It did the job though. It really did. It's taken that point no problem whatsoever.
And they're capturing it and they're holding the base. See, teamwork is huge in Planetside and in Planetside too. So we're definitely trying to make sure that you guys strategize and come up with good ways to hold bases and territory.
Good job, MC. Let's take over Charlie.
A nice little use of the turret. The turret was, I think, was deployed slightly outside of the capture point and then used to gun down players inside unawares. Yeah,
turrets are quite powerful, but they can't be moved, so they're just kind of sitting ducks. But if they have some people around them protecting them while they're also killing people, you
need more NC at the galaxy. More NC to the galaxy.
And especially at choke points. Ooh, and right here you can see he zoomed out. This is our entire map, and they've only been playing right there in that tiny little area. So our maps are huge, thousands of players on a single map. I'm glad that he pulled out like that because a lot of people like only look at the little square that they're in.
Yeah, it's a bit bigger than that, just a little bit.
And you can actually see the resources that are right in each location and the territory. So who's hanging out there?
Exactly. So if your Empire needs a specific kind of resource because you can't get a particular vehicle out in large numbers, then you might want to decide, hey, I'm going to go for this area of territory here.
And he doesn't have everything active, so you know he could actually check out the missions. The resources are right there. He doesn't have any of them checked, so you can't see them on there. He doesn't have the missions or the enemies checked out, but he has his allies and his whatnot all showing up on his map at the moment. But he's not zooming in or anything, so. guess he's just checking it out. Probably talking with one of the
We're going in the galaxy. Let's take a
lovely
look.
guys that we have here, telling people about Planetside 2.
Definitely nice to look at nonetheless. It shows a very clearly defined front line, which I really like. That's something the original game didn't have.
Oh, and something else that we should note is that in the original, you had to have a lattice link in order to get to a location. Here you don't. You can actually go. We could take a location back in the TR, the NC, or the VS's area. We don't actually have to do the front line push.
Yeah. However, it does take a long time to do that. The further you are behind enemy lines, the longer hacks take.
And they can get to you quicker because they have a bunch of territory right around you. Versus
They can respond immediately.
Yeah.
Switch out some more action, including being blown up, which is a very common theme.
So he's looking at some of our customization for his infiltrator.
Infiltrators are popular today. It's interesting. We saw a lot of maxes on the first day, but people are trying out the different classes as we go through.
I think that what happens is they see someone doing that, and then when they get to the station, they're like, "Oh, I want to do that too."
That's neat. Yeah, let's give that a try.
There's someone next to you doing the same thing.
Well, there's a galaxy he could go into there if he wants, or he can just try and approach. If he's going to be sniping, then he might want to stay outside the base. Admittedly, that lovely blue laser pointer might reveal his location.
Yeah, you should turn that off. You can turn it on and off too.
I love the idea of giving an infiltrator a gun with a laser pointer and a flashlight on, as if that's not going to give me away.
You can turn them on and off, but I don't think these guys are quite there yet. You can also spot people, which I haven't seen anybody really doing. I think people are just, you know, getting in and kind of shooting people and getting
more
used to
gunners at the galaxy.
Looks like the galaxy will be taking off quite shortly. I believe that's for new conglomerate, actually, so...
Nice job. Hold Bravo.
We'll see if we can keep an eye on that. Currently a light assault trooper around the galaxy spawn area. Who has no
look at the
interest
bombardment right there with the planets in the background.
We're going to take back Bravo.
It just looks really beautiful.
That's the nice thing about making a sci-fi game, is you can really go all out with making some really nice otherworldly visuals. You're not
You can see that with the
constrained by
trees
realism.
even right here. They're kind of quite different, and I think we're going to continue that.
The more variety the better, as far as I'm concerned. There's no reason to restrict the visuals. Alright, the galaxy is
airborne. For you,
airborne.
huh? The TR base right there with all the TR banners.
Hold on, TR. Hold.
That's what I like. That's what I like to see. Let's see if we can actually find a viewpoint.
Some people are
here.
actually mentioning that they love the sight on that weapon. We have so many different sight options for you, various optics, and we're going to continue to progress those things, as well as utility and certifications.
Galaxy drop is going on at the moment, and we did manage to catch. There we go. We can see a few soldiers actually falling down from the galaxy. They've got an infiltrator in support, sighting the target. That's a miss by the looks of it.
Defend this. We're better than this.
Oh, we got that one.
Yep, I think that's a max unit actually, so at least it looks like one. It's a bit dark, you can never really tell.
Oh, he got it.
It was actually a,
I wasn't doing anything.
a light assault. Well, that's fine, you know, nice and easy shot. It's a perfect place to be as a sniper, although it is rather exposed.
Yeah, but I don't think he's quite going to get. See, what he's doing is great for an infiltrator. Getting up on top of those ridges is awesome. I love being up there. I also love some of the tops of the buildings down there too. They just provide such a good vantage point.
They do.
But what he should be doing is taking a shot and then cloaking and backing up, because people like tend to turn around and look where they just got shot, and if he would have just cloaked a little bit, they'd be like, oh, there's no one over there.
Everyone get in the galaxy, we're going to do a huge
Oh my, that was there's a massacre going on there, but successful defense here.
Oh, headshot.
Nice pickup there by the new conglomerate infiltrator, but it looks like it might be spotted here. He's going to have to be very careful.
Yeah,
utilizing the cloak.
Not helpful. I think he realized it.
What is that blurry little line that's coming around there? Hasn't figured out where he's been hit
get him.
from.
He got one shot off on him already.
Yeah, he did. It's going to weaken him quite significantly.
It's a jump jetter, it looks like.
Yep.
So. Oh, and he missed a shot.
Ivano are curiously oblivious right now.
He keeps doing that. Oh my gosh! It turns out we are Best of Show 2012. Yay!
Well, Game Informer, yeah.
We actually want to switch to the camera so we can show it.
Well, I shall switch to the camera so we can show it.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Thank you guys. Yay!
That's what we want to see.
You see Diana back there, she's cheering. Oh wow, that's really awesome. Remember, we're just a free-to-play game. We're a free-to-play MMO FPS with thousands of players on a single map, and it's really great to actually see that everyone's enjoying our game. It's always rough as a designer. I don't know if everyone knows that, but I'm also a game designer at Sony Online Entertainment, and when you're showing off your game, you're like, oh, is everyone gonna like it? It's so nerve-wracking.
Galaxy is airborne. We showed it was a nice little bit of usage there of the Galaxy as a resupply point. You can do that.
Bravo.
So are Sunderers. They're great.
Drop.
Gosh, I got distracted.
Yep.
So much stuff going on.
Yeah, I should probably stress the game is still an alpha, so the dropping is... It's not looking perfect at the moment. He seemed to instantly find his way to the floor, but things will be done.
Yeah,
that's going to be
we'll
all
be
lined out.
A lot of it. I mean.
Oh, yeah, that was not a good place to be. The entire room actually got wiped out by Hellfire rockets from a nearby Terran Republic mosquito.
Yeah, brag about it. Just like the TR.
Oh, what a fantastic vehicle for the best faction in the game.
Yeah, and for
like
those of you who played
Planetside,
yeah, the Mosquito is now only a Terran Republic aircraft.
Yeah, so do be careful where you decide to take off. You run straight into a galaxy. Things will not work out well for you.
We're still working on a lot of that too, so when you hit other vehicles and stuff like that.
Everyone go to the front of the galaxy and press E. We have a full boat.
Full boat.
And it is a boat. It is actually just a boat. That thing
I like how you called it a boat though.
Massive. It's absolutely massive.
Yeah, this is just one of our vehicles. This is our support vehicle. And we heard that guy just say nice one. We do have the voice options that we had in Planetside. They work a little differently.
Voice macros, yeah.
Yeah, the little voice macros. So you can say like, nice shot, and all that kind of stuff.
Take over C.
It's useful. It's useful.
Or medic, you know.
Wow, there's actually 10 in this galaxy. This is going to be a fairly epic drop, assuming it gets to the base.
Oh my gosh, I hope it does, because I want to see what they do. I wonder what... Did they say what point they were going to? I didn't quite hear them.
Oh wow, I think they're going to point C actually. Galaxy's already taking just a little bit of fire. These things are prime targets for aerial interception.
They're huge and they're super slow, so they don't have the maneuverability. And if these guys are smart, they'll get on top of it because that's the most vulnerable point of a galaxy.
Yeah, the guns actually don't cover that area. It's the only area they don't.
Well, they kind of cover up there, but not quite at the center. Oh, and there you get to see it.
That's a nice little viewpoint there.
They didn't quite make the base, but maybe they wanted to be outside.
Well, I mean, a lot of them actually did get to point C, so they should be. Unfortunately, that's very well defended.
Our VS and TR guys in there. Looks like they were already duking it out before. Oh no, and he ran into good Max.
Ouch! And nasty things tend to happen when that goes.
You can actually see that this Max has little horn customization on and some camo. I'm surprised none of them are all outfitted the same. We got some QA guys back there. Usually they wear their zebra outfits together.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot of outfits are going to do that. They're going to customize a particular uniform. Zebra camo should be fairly popular amongst the
I would like to
more
note that
ridiculous ones.
some of those haven't quite put the tints on them correctly, so they'll actually be like teal and purple if they're VS and so on. So it won't be so hard to recognize your enemies. Because I know a lot of people were commenting on stuff like that.
We have heavy tank resistance.
This is a heavy assault. We actually haven't seen too many heavy assaults using their rocket launcher. So
you heard Lieutenant Ruckus.
Looks like he's going to try to take some air out.
Looks like the Terran Republic are going to be deploying a large amount of tanks. It's always a good thing to see. One was the engineer. I've been told the engineers have been laying anti-tank mines around the place, so it's been making it difficult for the armor to approach the base.
I'm wondering if this guy doesn't have enough resources to get a vehicle, because he's just hoofing it.
It is a possibility. Or he just wants to kill sites. Sounds good to me.
No, don't kill sites.
Kill sites.
No. He's already smoking, but he's...
I think, did he just deploy flares? It looked like he did.
Yeah, it did look like he deployed flares.
Yeah, flares are a customization option. Admittedly, it is a trade-off. If you have flares, you're not going to have something else.
There's a lot of that in our game. We're allowing you to have some things, but you have to trade them out for other things. So, depending on the combat at the current moment, you're probably going to want to switch it out. And that's why I say that you're definitely going to want to use our loadout system and save various different loadouts.
Well done, TR.
Some might be making comments about the fact that the rocket just doesn't seem to work all that well. There's a reason for that. You can't make these vehicles too powerful. You're an individual soldier on a battlefield of thousands.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, there's going to be maybe 100 more guys with rocket launchers just like yours on the ground firing. can't make
That's
them
the biggest
ridiculously
thing.
accurate.
There are thousands of people on a single map, so imagine 100 people shooting at that one vehicle. Like, it's going to be a lot more rough for them when there's actually that many players on the battlefield. So just this one guy shooting at that is probably not going to be as powerful, but he can still take him out, you know, if he's tactical about it.
Strength in numbers is the name of this game. Lone wolf play doesn't tend to get you all that far. Tactical play with your squad certainly will. What's better than one gun? 100 guns pointed at the same target.
And what you just saw him pop right there is his shield, and heavy assaults get this powerful shield that they can pop, and it allows them to take a bit of damage, or at least take a rocket while they're trying to shoot a rocket at the tank.
Doing fairly well actually, approaching the battlefield in a nice strategic way, not running directly into combat, staying behind his max units.
I'm still kind of stoked that we got Best in Show.
That's pretty cool.
Thinking about that.
That is pretty
I'm
cool.
watching Higby and the models that we have here suited up in jump jet suits.
Actors.
Yeah, actors and actresses.
Don't shoot him. You were killed by violence. Yes, you were.
Violently killed by violence.
I think he's gone rogue. Something needs to be done about this.
Mad.
We have a traitor in our midst, folks.
No. Actually, I kind of like seeing this.
Oh, I'm sure you do. You were complaining earlier when the Varna were doing it. Gunned down by the new conglomerate. How unfortunate.
And there's our map, like we were saying before. Our map is huge. So you're
You
just
actually see
seeing a
resource
small,
center now.
tiny battle where you see that blinking arrow. That's the small battle that you see them playing right now. Our map is huge. We're trying to keep them in there. We have out of bounds right now. That's not currently what it's going to be like in game.
No, absolutely not.
These guys will get lost and be like, ooh, shiny, and never find battle if we let them to go.
So we're restricted to a single facility and deliberately applying limitations.
Yes.
That will not be in the full game. Absolutely not.
And here we have one of the Terran Republic
One of the
aircraft.
best vehicles in the game.
Or
It is
so
the-
he thinks. Oh, not so great when it comes up against a scythe. What?
All I can say is the pilot obviously wasn't up to handling such a manly piece of equipment.
Right.
The VS actually have a population advantage at the moment. That's clearly why. Only a small one, admittedly.
Looks like he's in queue, so that's why he was waiting.
Yeah, it happens. So when you've got hundreds of players all trying to get vehicles, you got to do a bit of queuing. In this case, what we have for this particular E3 demonstration are forward Vanguard bases for every faction.
Yeah, just so that you can see this. We will have little camp points for places. These are just kind of set up right now so that you guys can see the test. They have an easy way to spawn, and they're kind of equidistant.
Yeah, in the full game, you certainly will have points which you'll be able to capture, which you can spawn from.
Yeah.
But you have to get them yourself, and they can be taken away from you as well. And that's going to be the hallmark of a successful empire if they get their logistics in place. The cactus once again.
He should have been in a scythe.
I don't think that would have helped. The cactus cares not which empire you are from. The cactus is the
That's
true
true.
neutral faction of this game.
So it's just that the TR pilots suck. Is that what you're saying?
All I'm saying is they need a little bit more training at the moment. We've got a lot of new recruits
And
because
this
of
is
course it is the best
Beaver that
empire
you're
everyone
seeing in
wants to
his
play it.
reticle right here.
That means we're going to gun it down.
Good. We can both mutually enjoy this.
That's the nice thing. We can bond over the slaughter of the new conglomerate traders. Oh, that's a nice lock right there. Tries to desperately turn away, takes it in the rear booster. Down he goes.
Nice.
Nice pick up there by the Terran Republic. There's a bit of a furball going on in the air here. Watch out for the cactus. I swear the cactus is almost reaching for him there.
And as you can see, he's actually doing barrels. We allow you to, turn whichever direction you want. You don't have to just stay upright all the time.
Yeah, expect joystick support for this as well for the flight sim nuts. If you want to stay in a plane for most of the time, you can do it. And you'll be able to control it with your favorite controller setup.
Well, until you actually need to capture a point. You can't capture a point in a vehicle.
Well, you provide aerial support.
Is there a gal drop going on? I just saw him fly underneath a gal.
I think so.
Ooh, and killed by another scythe. I like seeing all these scythe kills.
Let's switch to a different view, shall we?
Of course, another Terran.
Air to support
This is actually my
our
favorite location
grounds.
as a sniper. I love this building. I think I've mentioned that a few times. But if you see that there's staircases right here on the bottom, he has such a great vantage point, and then he can just jump down there too. And there's also some windows in that building that provide some good points to the spawn rooms and also some of the other capture points.
I'm a big fan of getting vertical at night. Like, it just seems the best possible idea to get an infiltrator at night in good camouflage, up on the building, picking people off from a distance.
It's so powerful too, especially if you have like a buddy on one tower and you're on another. You can coordinate and you'd be like, oh, I see this guy right here, and you can kind of 1-2 shot and you can both kill him. So coordination is
capture point
really
B.
awesome.
All TR to capture point B.
It looks like we have a Bain and Margaret.
Why did you park it there? A serious place to put it.
You have failed the Republic. The facility is lost.
TR need to pick it up.
You can actually see I think he has a silencer on his pistol right now.
Looks like it, yeah.
You can customize your pistols as well. We do allow that. Pretty much any weapon you can customize.
We actually saw yesterday some fantastic play with these pistols. Needless to say, this is still an alpha, so it is running into a couple of bombs here and there.
Too.
Oh yeah, he's doing well. Actually, a Claymore mine down there. I don't think I've seen one. There's several Claymore mines.
I think some people are getting a little bit more used to this. There might be some QA guys doing that as well. But yeah, some classes do have deployables that they can put down on the ground. And there are some really tactical places to put those once you learn the map. I'm surprised he's not using his sights for...
Oh dear. He's empty. He's empty. Knife him. Knife him.
Oh, Claymore.
Is he trying to hit?
Oh, he got it, but he hit himself. That was pretty awesome, actually. That was...
some more. Hasta la vista, baby.
I'm not even going to ask what that was all about, quite frankly. Not even going to ask.
Yeah, and for those of you who are just joining us, we do have a voiceover IP in our game that people can use, and you know, we're going to continually progress on that, but we're allowing you to make your own channels. We auto put you in channels for the people that you're in vehicles with when you join a squad. Those are all options that you can change too. So we're going to allow you to really be able to not use an outsourced voice.
Yeah, but if you want to use your external third-party voice-over IP, your trailer server, you can. There's nothing stopping you from doing that, but the game's made it nice and easy to gain voice-over IP access without having to really do anything.
Yeah.
It drops you in there, automatically puts you in a channel if you get in the vehicle with someone, so you can immediately communicate with your gunner and driver.
Puts you with your outfit, so you can communicate with them quickly.
Yeah.
You can make little sub-channels, you know, make channels where people can talk to each other, specifically like leaders, squad leaders. So, I mean, we're really going to allow you to customize that.
It's good to have the option, I feel. The veteran players will already have their own, and that's fine. That's not a problem. But you may want to use it to communicate with the general populace.
You're getting some TR love in your channel.
Great, that's what I like to hear.
They're like, more bullets are best bullets. That's because you guys have terrible aim.
No. That was I don't agree with that. Not under any circumstances. We have 200 bullets.
I see someone in the crowd saying
like
TR sucks and like giving me a nod.
That's a traitor in our midst. I'll locate him and destroy him.
That's something I do want to talk about today too, is Empire loyalty and how that affects the game. I think a lot of people jump into a game and, you know, they'll be Russian or American and they won't know, like, and it keeps swapping them and they don't really have...
Well, there is no loyalty in a game like that, is there?
Right?
Because at the end of the day, you're in whatever faction happens to have the least players for 15 minutes.
And you're with random people you don't know.
Yeah. And
it just keeps switching you into random people. And instead of, you know, where you're actually remembering the people that you're killing every day or that you're squadding up with or that you're guilding up with, I mean... something that you don't quite get in any other FPS game.
Persistence is nice. It means more than people think.
See, that was a great use of jump jets. He jumped up right over him. The guy was like, where did he go? He's right behind him.
He throws a defensive grenade as well. Good position. Unfortunately, dashed by there by the checkpoint.
There's
a nuke guy hiding over there as well.
He did not see that. And then
this is not where he wants to be right now.
Max. Oh, that was a nice dodge.
Yeah.
He could totally kill this guy quick if he's fast.
Oh, a light assault troop for the Terran Republic hopping over as well.
Get out because that's not a good place for him to
Nice bit of aerial dueling going on. There we go. Should be able to shut down the nuke conglomerate scum. No problem whatsoever. On a 3-kill streak, doing very well for himself, I feel.
Very well. Dropping down an ammo pack.
He needs it.
More ammo. Just so you know, we are changing that up a bit. So right now that's on the light assault, but we've been working on how we want to do that. We don't really think that it's going to be good for light assault because they're jump jetting around. They're kind of ahead of the team.
Yeah, not to mention it encourages some really lone wolf kind of gameplay that I guess isn't really all that appropriate.
Yeah, we really want support classes to be there for their teammates and supporting them. Jump jets allow for a different type of support for their teammates. Allows them to kind of scout, get to locations, you know, see things that other people can't see.
This guy is extraordinarily good, I have to point out. Any other player would have gone down already to that max unit in there with the dual cyclers. He's just whittling him down. He actually takes him out.
Man.
Astonishing.
And it looks like he's going to try to capture the base. And as you can see right now, he can actually look around. Oh, nice.
This guy is pretty good.
It stops your hack if you shoot or anything like that, but as long as you stay in the vicinity, you can kind of look around so you're not that vulnerable. I know people who played the original Planetside, you were locked in there and it kind of really sucked.
Yeah, that was really awkward, I recall. I don't know who this is, but he knows his stuff.
I think this is actually one of our associate producers.
He definitely knows his stuff. I'd expect him to, certainly. Now, those of you who played Planetside 1, this will be an unfamiliar sight, a beamer actually killing somebody. This weapon used to be called the flashlight back in Planetside 1 because it was about as effective as one. Now it's been changed around just a little bit.
I got some good beamer kills. I don't know, I thought the beamer is pretty awesome.
It was fantastic against
Is it
AFK
Montez?
players.
No, Montez is one of our QA guys, but yeah, he did some great psych work the other day.
That he did.
People were talking about it, and he was like getting texts, and people were texting us up here too. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, in this facility, you're seeing all three factions fight each other. It's more uncommon than you might think. There are situations where all three factions will be contesting a base, but more often than not, it's one
a
faction
lot of
versus
times you will
another.
see on a continent where it's only just one or two
factions, yeah.
two factions, and then sometimes the third one will just get in there because they don't have any other fight to do.
Yeah, it's a bit of a more unusual situation set up for all the purposes of this E3 demonstration.
Yeah, you do get some interesting splits, and that's another tactical thing that you're going to have to worry about is
good job,
where you
VS.
send your
now
troops.
It's all work towards capture point A. All VS work towards.
And as you can see, it's quite a bit of customizations that
Just a little bit. There's going to be a lot more
There's
than
like
that.
a little hood ornament, tint. Those are just so you can see what's in there. We have a lot more options than that, but we're just allowing people to customize a bit so they can see how it works.
Yeah. We'd prefer people didn't spend an hour running around the customization screen and not actually playing the game. Lightning
He just wants to look cool while he kills people, so...
Well, if you're in a Lightning, then that's a good start. Admittedly, Lightning might have a lot of firepower.
Lightnings are fun.
Yeah.
A little squishier than your main battle tank, but...
Very much so.
Powerful, fast, very maneuverable.
Can fit them inside a base as well.
Definitely.
Can be a bit risky sometimes.
Not as good as a Flash, though.
No. Admittedly, you're not very armored if you're in a Flash either. I wouldn't want to be on one of those if you're taking fire.
Oh, someone said the Lightning is cute.
It is kind of adorable. And it was more adorable in Planetside 1
because it was even tinier.
It was silly.
Little square.
It was this tiny little square, bulbous little thing. It was horrendous. It looks a little bit less ridiculous now.
It was a bit harder to drive than, I think, the one that we have currently.
It was actually very hard to drive because you had to independently move the turret, and the thing could strafe left and right as well. The way the vehicle actually moved was not intuitive at all. A bit more so now.
And this guy is actually set up quite well with his turret right there. I think he might be putting a deployable down or something. Oh, he's just checking it out. He was pointing his turret right at a choke point. You can only turn your turret so far. We've been, messing around with that as designers as well. But you're going to have a variety of turret options. So.
Well, they're trying to hold this point. They actually don't have a cap at all.
Got a max front though.
Yeah. This is what I'm curious about. Well, okay, you're sitting on point A, but you haven't actually hacked it yet.
So what you can see right here, since he's an engineer and he deployed his turret, he can also repair these guys, and he's got 2 max fronts. Oh man, they can definitely hold this point.
The problem is that he hasn't hacked it yet, so he's actually holding it for the new conglomerate.
This is true, he does need to hack it, and there is a grenade right there.
Oh, hello. Perfect way to clear out entrenched positions.
Yeah, Maxes cannot hack, so all they're doing is standing around. I think he's going to try to revive his friend right here, or not.
Well, he's an engineer, so... Yeah, we need a medic in order to do that, I guess. Oh, hello. Great position for the TR to be in. And the new conglomerate are coming in there as well.
Yeah, I actually don't know if we have it on this build, but we were messing around with possibly letting engineers revive maxes too.
Ah.
But just at a longer rate.
Very neat.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of things that we're working on as designers, is continually just playing the game and trying new different things.
Seeing what works.
Yeah. He's got some desert camo
Dude,
on his vehicle right here. This is actually great for indoor, especially during the day.
Air support coming in to see.
These guys sound so serious when they're talking over the comms.
There's a little bit of role playing going on. That's what tends to happen. The Galaxy has landed in an awkward spot once again.
Very awkward. He's already smoking.
There it goes. Oh, that's
quite
gonna leave him
different
off.
to drive because they are these giant boats. So you imagine if you were driving something that big, it's like the size of a building.
It is, yeah, it really actually is. It's difficult to
Oh,
fly.
and it looks like the TR were trying to get one. Did they get a bunch of kills on that? Oh.
That was a mess. Yeah, he got a lot of player kill assists for that one. This is my armored
Oh, did you
warfare
see that
going outside.
lightning slide around there?
I love that, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. And we have to note that this is the top turret of the vehicle, so the grounds guy, the one that's actually driving, is probably killing all these tanks while this guy's clearing the air. So teamwork is really important, and this makes your vehicle quite powerful too, when you have two gunners.
Yeah, as you can see, it's so important, it really is, because you become massively vulnerable.
And
to
they
being
just got
attacked from the
repaired.
air.
I don't know if you noticed that too. So
Very
there
nice.
must be an engineer out there repairing them as well.
Mag Rider versus the Vanguard are pulling through.
Oh, let's see. It looks like the AA tank turret is actually shooting at him as well. And I don't think the Mag Rider had a top turret, did he? I did not see it shooting.
Didn't look like it, no. It
But-
looks like there's only a single person in that tank, but
Took him down.
took him down regardless.
This is the
We
man
need
who
more
wants
support
it.
at Capture Point Charlie and Alpha.
It's mostly because the
This
new
fuck guy's
conglomerate are
bow.
We need tank
incompetent.
support at Alpha.
That's funny. Is she gonna get a lock on maybe?
He can, but it's
I
tricky
thought he was
actually.
gonna get right around that corner before he could get the lock on.
It is very tricky, certainly. At the moment with this environment, because everyone's spawning very close together, you don't so much have the siege kind of warfare that you're used to seeing in the original Planetside. And that's something that's going to be interesting to see going into the beta, how much is going to end up happening. I remember fighting in Planetside 1 where the people who owned the facility would be manning the walls, essentially, as
Oh
vehicles
yeah, as
came
you were
in.
coming up. I mean, right now these guys are, most of these guys are right here in the studio right here at E3, so they don't really know how to strategize quite well, but definitely getting up on top of those turrets that are up on the towers, and even just getting on the towers and with your rocket launcher and shooting down at the vehicles that are coming your way, especially when you see like 100 column tank coming towards you. Yeah, it's very beneficial to hold your walls and not let them get into your base, because once they're in, it's going to be a lot harder to control them, especially if they kind of spread out.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that in this E3 demo, everyone's spawning really close to the base.
Yes, really close. It's going to be a lot longer of a travel time.
Yeah.
So you're going to really want to stay alive, have your teamwork that's, you know, synergizing, repairing vehicles, reviving people, because you don't want to respawn every.
There's no quit in a TR, soldier.
He's just going to try to shoot at it.
Generally speaking, I would get in a vehicle if he wanted to do that. That said, he may be out of resources.
Or
he
maybe
could-
he's going to try to gun for someone if they stop for him.
if they stop for him, yeah. Sadly, the tester's not quite realising that that's a good idea. If you happen to be a bit of a lonely person, then this is the ideal vehicle to go on.
And I don't think we've mentioned today yet, but as you've been seeing all these vehicle drivers, the UI actually updates for them right there. So they can see how fast they're going, how high they're at.
Yeah.
Oh no. I thought he was going to die.
I was very surprised that that vehicle didn't come apart. Ah, yeah. Run over by a tank. That'll do it.
Oh, it's Halibut.
It's Halibut. Halibut is in battle right now. He's on the wrong faction. I'm not happy with that.
Banu.
Traitor.
That's the right
Traitor's
faction.
dog. Traitor's
See,
dog.
clearly some part of you wants to be on the Banu side.
You know what? I'm not going to dignify that with a response. I refuse to be insulted in such a manner.
Ooh, is he going to pull Sunder? Maybe.
He might. I mean, the Sundera is a vehicle that you really need to use it as part of a team.
Yeah.
If you're on your own, Sunder is not the best choice to pull. It costs a lot of resources. It's a big target. You need 2 gunners for it at least. It can carry an entire squad.
But it's great for support and resupply as well.
Absolutely.
So it's great in a column of tanks.
Prowler now rolling forward, trying to get itself in a good position. Hopefully not crash into anything.
He's just trying to see if he can find an enemy.
Oh, there's a few in the air. It'd be nice if he had someone in his second gunning position. That would make things a lot easier for him.
Kind of can't move while he's doing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's using the coaxial gun there, which is nowhere near as effective as the top turret.
Yeah, so he keeps swapping between his vehicle turrets. So it's kind of nice if you don't have someone in your vehicle. You can always just hop in and get up there.
Pull it together.
No, don't shoot that. That's friendly. It's friendly.
Kill it! Kill it with fire.
Don't listen to her.
Oh my god, yes, kill it.
All right, here we go.
Is he getting? Oh my goodness. I thought
4
he was
power
gonna kill
tanks
his
now
friend
rolling.
again.
Yeah, please don't kill little friends. An ideal position at the moment to actually roll in as part of an armor column.
Except for it doesn't look like they're doing much. This guy's
Well,
pretty
that one's on
low.
fire. That doesn't help.
Yeah, I highly suggest being an engineer whenever you're gunning or possibly driving, depending on if you have a gunner or already has it. Either an engineer or heavy assault, so that either you can finish off the enemy that's just exploding your vehicle, or you can repair your vehicle.
This tank isn't really moving all that much at the moment. Let's switch to one that is.
Yay, Vanu!
You can see that the armor battle is starting to kick in at the moment. We've got tanks from various factions rolling around here. Earlier they were having problems with anti-vehicle mines. At the moment they seem to be doing fairly well.
No one's really dropping them. And I haven't really seen that many engineers. So, well, I've seen some Vanu engineers, because Vanu know how to be strategic.
They know how to stand around doing very little, which is why they picked the
Oh, come on!
engineer.
What? We were just on a TR tank who wasn't moving. Yeah, yeah.
It was probably
Take
some
that.
kind of Vanu
Take that.
infiltrator.
And you also had some TR guy just come in and mutilate everyone in the spawn room. In the forward barracks.
He was a new conglomerate trader, some kind of double agent.
Right.
The best thing about TR is the ability to rationalize away absolutely everything.
So as you notice right now, the Vanu actually hold all the points, so they're kind of in the lead. I don't even see the TR on the map at the moment, and they're progressing quite quickly with their tickets as long as they can hold it. It looks like they're actually setting up a defense with their vehicles and keeping people out of the bases. But it looks like his friends need a revive, so he's going to revive.
This is actually, I think, the first time I've ever seen someone do that.
Yeah.
Which is great.
He's a medic, so
That's what we like to see. A little bit of teamwork there.
Very
much
good.
faster to revive than it is to squad spawn, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but it does kick in a cooldown once you do it. You can't keep doing it.
we are going to be working on various heal tools also, so that's just our test one, so people can revive really quickly. It'll probably be, slower than that, but we haven't quite messed around with that fully.
Well, we've got a little bit of a lull in the action at the moment, so I'm going to take this opportunity to have a look at the iPad app, which Clegg will be demonstrating over there, so take it away.
Hey everybody, so what we have here is our iOS and Android app. As you can see here, it's kind of like a wiki of sorts for all of your details of what you want to look at. You've got a lot of weapon choices, you can see all of the different classes, a lot of the stats. Here's all your characters, look at all your character stats, but it's also functional too. As you can see here, here's our map of Indar. And you can kind of zoom out here and look at the territory control, and you can kind of be on the bus or the train coming home and look at what's happening on the battlefield and kind of figure out what you want to do when you get home and play in the game. Another cool feature is the voice chat. So after you look at the map, you can kind of say, talk to your squad and say, hey guys, I'm coming back soon, and when we get there we're going to do this, that, and the other. So this is a really cool kind of half functional, half wiki app that we have coming out for Planetside 2.
I'd also like to mention that This is going to be on iOS and Android, and all that data is going to be out there for the public. So all of you players who love making applications, this is going to be your dream come true. You're going to be able to use that data and make whatever you want, and that's awesome. We love giving the fans what they want. So
there you go, folks.
But that's free. Remember, that's free,
yeah.
and our game is free. Free to play.
Everything is free. You're just like giving away everything over here. Incidentally, if you are attending E3 for the last day of the convention, by all means do come by our booth. We are in the West Hall. You can't really miss us.
It's right when you come through the door.
It's a bit difficult to miss.
I might yell at you too.
Yeah, if you manage to miss us, then do let us know. We'll award you a prize for your complete oblivious nature.
Yeah, I have these things that everyone wants.
Oh yes,
so take these standing right there. I'll show the new conglomerate one. Oh, I got it upside down, he says.
Yeah, we'll give you an Oblivious Award, also known as a new conglomerate dog tag.
That's not really a good reward.
Higby is unhappy. Let's go back to the game.
Oh, he's coming around too.
Oh, we're putting him back on.
Son of a...
He said son.
Where is it? Where am I? Where do I go? How do I do this?
The camera
How does this work?
You're so very good at this, Higby. I can see why we pay you the big bucks.
It's the hair, that's why.
The hair is quite impressive, I've got to say. I was going to show you a bit of a... Actually, yeah, we can show you Liberator gameplay. Here we go. The big gunship.
Oh, and it's beautiful, and it's Vanu.
And it's purple and hideous.
Yes, it's beautiful. Oh no!
And
that
it's
was pretty
dead.
awesome, though.
Yes, it is dead. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. That's what we like to see.
Yeah,
well,
so the Liberator is actually
effort.
one of our other nanite system vehicles. So every faction has their own. So Mr. TB can have a red one. And it's pretty awesome because you can bomb a crap ton of the ground, but you need to be careful with what's going on right there.
Speaking of being careful, yeah, do be careful what you do with...
You have to be careful not to hit your friends.
Here we go. Alright,
looks like
so
you have a tail gunner view. Is that what it is?
that is
bomber
the Bombardier view, yeah. It has a
Don't even have a tail gunner, which is not good.
Yeah, just making someone vulnerable.
Ooh,
What you can do is do
take out the
tank
take out the Terran tank.
Our Terran tanks are big targets because the Terran don't really mind. You know, they're not into hiding.
So this, I have to say, when you get to see nighttime play again, this is beautiful at night.
B is right from the taking.
And being a bomber is so much fun. I don't know why, I just love it. I'm like,
the ability to rain death from on high is certainly a nice feeling.
Looks like they might be going back for repairs, or maybe not.
Base, BS. Let's all
focus
on B. All
loop
BS.
around
Focus
for
on
another
B.
pass.
Let's cap this base again,
Providing
guys.
some extremely effective fire support from the top.
Looks like they're doing some really good coordination too.
I'm liking that, yeah, definitely. You do have to coordinate with your pilot because, of course, you're not going to get the best angle to shell if your pilot isn't flying straight in the right direction. Unfortunately, the lack of tail gun is going to cost them here. They've become public enemy #1, as Liberators have a tendency to do.
Oh yeah, they need to get out of there quickly. Get out of there and land safely.
Or not, as the case may be.
It's going to happen.
There we
But
go.
your friend killed them.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy
It's
with
your favorite vehicle too.
It's wonderful. Well, I think we're going to take a quick break while we switch over. Mr. Adam Clegg will be joining us next for the remainder of this broadcast. Maggie, thank you once again.
Yes, thank you.
No doubt see you with some interviews coming on over the next hour or so.
Thank you guys for the Best of Show. Best of Show 2012. That's so awesome. I'm so happy.
That is
you have no
pretty
idea
fantastic.
how happy I am.
Yeah, that's pretty damn fantastic. Thank you to Game Informer for that one. We will be back very shortly, folks, for the second part of this presentation. Remember, if you are coming to E3 today, please do stop by the booth. If you're not coming to E3,
say hi.
Continue watching the stream because plenty more Planetside 2 action coming up for you very shortly.
Enjoy.
Galaxy gunners, fire away, fire away, fire away. Looks like VS, we're losing point C. All VS, focus on point C.
Point A is getting ready.
We need more tank support outside of point C, VS.
Imminent success is all but assured.
All VS, focus on point C. Point C. We need more tank support outside of point C. Let's hold this base, guys. All VS, focus on point C. Nice job, VS. Looks like we got this one wrapped up. Nice work, VS. Way to cap the base. Alright, we need more tank support outside of point A. All VS, focus on point A.
I'm gonna have to, like, when I get back, I'm probably gonna end up doing an episode on like, yeah. Like, hey, hyper game before. Yeah. It's gotta be done, because otherwise
Yes, we need more tank support outside of point B. More tank support outside of point B. Good job, VS. Focus on point B. All VS, focus on point B. The NC, crawling around point B. Watch yourselves. Nice job capping point B. Hold all points. VS, hold all points. We got NC moving on Bravo. Heavy NC forces on Bravo. Maybe not. Maxi by Bravo. He's got the flamethrowers. Lots of NC by Bravo. Galaxy gunship at Garrison spawn point. Please feel free to jump in. All VS, focus your fire on point C. We need more tank support outside of point C.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Adam Clegg, apparently.
And my name is Margaret Krohn, apparently.
That is interesting. You know what? Let's just go to game.
Yeah.
Sounds like a much better idea. I will go with that. Now, what we've been seeing so far has actually been a wide variety of combined arms play from our players. We've seen some extremely effective play utilizing the light assault class.
Alright, Galaxy's leaving in 5.
Realizing that, you know what's a really great idea? Get above your opponent.
Yeah, you definitely want to get really high with the light assault. I mean, they can just pick off targets from the roof.
C. We're going to take it back.
They're one of the only classes that can get on the roof unless you squad drop in via hot drop. But once you get up there, you really have a good, nice view of all the targets on the ground.
Exactly where an infiltrator doesn't want to be, on the front line. Got to be very careful with that.
Get ready to drop.
Can't just run around.
All right, drop.
Galaxy drop is going on at the moment. That's a lot of enemy aircraft I'm seeing on the minimap there. Our new conglomerate player wisely getting below ground, out of the way.
It looks like they're trying to take capture point B. Yeah, that's B. That's a very hard capture point to take. It's nice in the corner there. So it's definitely one that you want to use Gal Drop on.
They've done that, but unfortunately the TR have taken heavy losses in the process.
Yeah.
Oh, this new conglomerate guy gets picked up after a 7-kill streak, actually by the Vanu. The attempt for the TR to take that point looked like it was not successful. But he will be able to spawn directly on his squad and get right back into the fight.
Yeah, it's hard to fight when there's 3 Empires. You think you only have to deal with one enemy, but then the next thing you know, another enemy comes in.
Yeah. Which is, it's not as common as you might think, really. You know, in this scenario, of course, it is all 3 factions battling. More often than not, it'll just be one-on-one.
Yeah, most of the time you have your dominant empire on the continent, and then they're fighting a 2-way battle between one of the other 2 continents, or one of the other 2 empires on each side of the continent.
So Galaxy's being loaded up here.
We need tank support.
So we may get to see once again another Galaxy drop. Currently, half of the Galaxy is full. Hopefully we'll actually see the entire thing. It's going to be a new conglomerate Galaxy drop. Either that or someone is very, very lost.
Alright, we're going back to Charlie. We're going to take
At the moment, the Vanu Sovereignty actually holding this base. It's now about time for the NC to try and take it back. You're viewing here from one of the 3 gunning positions. Galaxy is going to make its way over the top and drop half of a squad on top of a specific point. The question is, which one are they going to go for? It looks like it may be C.
Yeah, it looks like they're going after C, and you can see Vanu is in the lead of who's going to take this facility, but that doesn't mean any of these other 2 empires can't come back. They can easily take all 3 capture points at the same time, and if they're good enough at holding them, next thing you know, that empire takes the base.
Deployed turret there, thankfully not manned there. The new conglomerate should be able to take that. Once again, we should point out that the animations for Galaxy dropping are currently not functional in this alpha. That will, of course, change. So when you see someone drop out of a Galaxy and immediately land on the floor, that's why.
Yeah, this is still an alpha build, and we're just happy that we are here at E3 letting people try out our game.
It's nice to be able to get that kind of feedback as well, as you've got so many players shaking the game down.
Good job on C and C.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been super impressed with how the server's been holding up. I mean, just really, really great feedback.
Well, it's nice actually. The entire time I've been here, I haven't seen a single server crash or anything along those lines. It's held up the entire day, every day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we can jinx ourselves anymore, but let's...
Yeah, it works perfectly, don't worry. There's no problem whatsoever.
So Vanu ended up taking the facility. Normally what you would see now in live play is everyone would start looking at their maps, they'd start looking at where they're going to go next, what's the next facility to take. In our E3 demo, we only want people in this facility, so that's why you see NC or TR immediately taking the facility over again.
Yeah, that was the best kind of play as well. You got this lull in the action after you'd cleaned everybody out, and then your faction would decide, right, well, where are we going next? How are we going to do it? Are we going to take it with the aircraft, or are we just going to go for a massive Galaxy drop and try and take it immediately that way? That was a big shock troop thing you could do. If you had access to Galaxies, which are, I might point out, you can't get them everywhere.
No, it's not. We want the Galaxies to be a special vehicle. Right now you can only get them at the tech facilities or the tech plants.
So for purposes of demonstration, that's not relevant, but in the real game, you will only be able to pick them up at a specific place on the map.
And also your foothold, which is your warp gate.
Yeah.
Everyone inside the Galaxy.
But a massive Galaxy drop is a great way to pick off a base. It's a excellent shock tactic.
Taken off in 10.
Dropping in a large number of players is a great way to immediately capture various points. However, it is vulnerable to interception. It can be quite dangerous. It takes quite a lot of organization to make it work. More often than not, you might simply see an Empire roll out with a variety of different vehicles, including transports, tanks, ATVs.
Yeah, it's a huge risk reward, but when you do pull it off, it usually is a huge reward. Most likely what happens is they see the big Galaxies coming in, they get a lot of anti-aircraft, a lot of anti-air guns hitting them, and people have to bail early. And when you have to bail early, it's very unfortunate. But that's part of the risk reward.
Unfortunate there, very unfortunate, but picked up nonetheless. Prepare to die is a good little slogan that's already, of course, been taken, but it's very appropriate for this particular game. It's a massive war. You are going to die. You will be flattened by a tank. You will be blown up by a rocket. You will have a plane land on you at some point, no doubt. Suck it up and get back in the fight.
Yeah, and you can take advantage of real war tactics. I mean, you have 50 tanks at your disposal if you are a good commander, and you need to decide, where am I splitting this convoy up? Am I going to send 10 tanks this way? Am I going to send all 50 in at once? There's a ton of strategy, a really high-level strategy in this game.
And you can take part in it in whatever kind of fashion you so desire. You don't have to do this stuff all the time. If you just want to get into a fight, shoot a few guys, that's okay. You don't have to worry about the high-level coordination if you don't want to. It's going to happen regardless of whether you do it or not.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, we want people to just be able to hop in and start playing. As they play the game, they're going to see that people in outfits are doing this. They're going to see the coordinated things happening, and just naturally they're going to want to be a part of it.
I have a feeling that looks like a TR and the infantry max unit dropping down on his squad, who sadly are nowhere near the battle at the moment.
He is kind of near the... Oh, that is the TR garrison. I was going to say he is kind of near the NC garrison. He maybe can pick up some infantry there.
Possibly. We've got one of our players who has discovered that a max unit can actually melee. We haven't seen a kill from that just yet on the stream. It would be nice to do that. A nice backhand slap by an exosuit does the job.
Yeah, I imagine that hurts a lot.
Yes, I think it does. Supported there by a tank on the left flank. He's going to make his way over. Now, he is using a pounder grenade launcher here. This could be very useful on a high vantage point to do significant damage to vehicles, like that one, for instance.
Perfect. And then he uses the machine gun.
It does damage too, just a little bit slower. This would be a great time to start shelling.
Looks like he's got to get the angle right.
Yeah, it takes a bit of skill. You have to... There you go. This thing is very dangerous. Fires 3 shots before it reloads. The problem with picking 2 weapons is while you've got a lot of flexibility, you become a bit of a jack of all trades.
Yeah,
Specialized player will want to take 2 pounders.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I mean, if he had 2 pounders there, he could have probably taken that tank out. But you know what? Also, he could have had infantry sneak up on him. So
exactly. It's a trade-off. You're not designed to be fighting on your own. It's fighting as part of a squad. It makes much more sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the great things about Planetside too. It's very situational. You might think a class or a certain type of play is super overpowered, and then the next thing you know, you try it the next day and you go, this isn't working anymore. What happened between today and yesterday?
A good way to balance the game, I feel, is just to allow players to go at it.
Oh yeah, I mean, we really need players to just try everything and really see which ones come to the front. What tactics are people using all the time? And those things will come to show to the front, and we'll try to fix those.
Assuming they need to be fixed in general,
yeah.
That's the whole issue of metagame, isn't it? It's, well, is this working well because it's overpowered, or is this working well because the metagame currently hasn't figured out the way to deal with it?
Yeah, and I mean, we don't want to snap fix things right away. We want to let the game kind of mature. And like we see 3 maxes coming in, we might find that the TR max with this setup is really overpowered. But then people find out that, well, maybe if I came in with all heavy assaults, the next time they did that, well, now the maxes aren't doing anything. They're just getting shot from far away with heavy assault.
Good use of the max units actually to drive those tanks away. There's a heavy assault trooper there as well. That's what I like to see. We've got players now organizing to meet the ongoing threat of Banu mag riders moving in on the base. Extremely dangerous, but there are ways to deal with it.
Yes. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of good gameplay here. It's starting to get exciting.
Max has taken a reasonable amount of fire. Has managed to flank its way around the mag rider, connecting with 3 good pounder hits.
Oh.
It's out of ammo though.
Yeah, the click, 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 the dreaded click, click, click. You don't want to hear that.
Indeed. Now would be a good time to try and resupply. Try the other elevator.
There you go.
Well done. Now, while max units do lack mobility, at the moment they can still use these jump pads and elevators to get into different positions rapidly. I like the fact that he's decided, you know what, well, I can't use my pounder, but I do still have this dual cycler.
Yeah, I love how fast these players are picking up this game.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw him right away when he shot that tank earlier. He did a couple shots with the machine gun, saw it wasn't working, right-clicked, and saw that the pounder was doing a lot more damage. Same thing here. I mean, they're just picking up the game really fast.
At the moment, he's actually going up against the Max, which is equipped with flak units on its arms, which is proving to be worthless at this kind of range.
Yeah, those flak cannons. See, that's what we're talking about. You go in with two anti-air, and somebody comes up behind you, you can't kill them.
Yeah. And once again, that's balance. You're super effective against aircraft. Someone sneaks up behind you with a dual cycle and puts a bunch of rounds in your back. Can't do anything. You need friends. You need allies.
You definitely need your teammates around you. The most coordinated players are going to do the best in this game.
And I love the way that max dominance is not happening today. This is something that happened on day one.
Yeah.
A lot of people were using max units, and people were having a lot of trouble dealing with them.
As you see, he got a revive request there.
He did. Let's switch to some more max gameplay here. That's a pounder and a flamethrower.
That's good to see. A lot of people weren't playing the medic in the very beginning, which is, I mean, you don't always want to pick the support class. You want to pick like a max to do a lot of damage, but I really like the medic a lot. It does a lot of good gun damage, and he can heal people and revive people, so something that you need in a squad.
Especially bearing in mind in the full game that the way that logistics work mean that you're not going to be spawning right back into the fight again. If you've used your squad spawn for the few minutes, then all you can really do at that stage is decide, well, where am I going to spawn and how am I going to get back into the fight?
Yeah, I mean, if your galaxy got blown up and you've used your squad spawn, you don't want to spawn back at the garrison. By the time you get back into the fight, everything's going to be changed. So you want to kind of have those medics to revive you so you can instantly get right back where you died.
Just Max, from the NC perspective, have currently been dealing with the mass threat of Vanu armor coming in. There was Mag Rider after Mag Rider streaming in, and as a result, a lot of the new conglomerate players have decided to pick up a heavy assault setup using rocket launchers and anti-vehicle max units to repulse the threat.
It looks like he's trying to sneak up on this Mag Rider here. He's using really good cover. Oh, and he gets picked off from behind.
Yep, got gunned down quite nicely there by the Vanu, and that's another thing to consider as well. Oh great, you've got 10 tanks, fantastic. And what are you going to do if you're dealing with annoying new conglomerate troops that are popping out of cover, firing off a rocket, popping back in? You need infantry to clear them out.
Oh yeah, and what if there's a bunch of C4 on the ground or a bunch of mines that got laid down?
Take back our base.
We definitely need a coordinated battle with everything at your disposal.
Without question. Got to come on right back into the fight using his squad spawn, drop pod it right down onto the base. Coming to the Vanu Sovereignty with control of the base, but the new conglomerate actually have the lead in tickets. They might get this, especially if they grab another point.
Yeah, it looks like the Vanu has 2 points with, they're losing their second one. As you can see, B is blinking. So it's interesting to see if Vanu takes that. If they do, it looks like they're going to catch up. Yep, they're going to catch up really fast now. As you can see, that new conglomerate tickets just basically stopped.
Attempted ambush there on that flamethrower max unit that is just advancing like a scary juggernaut of doom.
Liberator under every attack.
However, realizing, well, you know what, the best way to deal with the max is, if you've got good aim anyway, is to hit him with an anti-vehicle rocket.
Yeah. Then this is kind of one of the scary moments as a NC or a VS, because you're saying, where's TR at? They're probably coordinating a battle or a fight or a tactic. Next thing you know, TR comes in there and they have all 3 capture points, which it looks like they already have 2. So when you don't see that Third Empire for a while, you get kind of suspicious.
Come on, see where you guys at.
As you very well should by the looks of it. New conglomerate heavy assault trooper currently isolated, making his way towards point C. A couple of grenades in there would flush it out quite nicely.
We also have like smoke grenades and flash grenades. I think what people are just using right now are just regular frag grenades.
Oh dear.
Roger that.
Needs to work just a little bit on his grenade arm. You'll notice there are 2 health bars. There's a shield bar, which can regenerate once you're out of combat, and then of course there is the health bar as well. That is green.
And that's actually one of 2 of our UI options that we're using right now. We're always kind of changing our UI, trying to make it better. That's something you always do in a game. Just the UI just constantly keeps changing. And we're kind of having players here at E3 try out both of them just to see which ones they like to use. And you never know, we might have an option to change those in the UI settings.
We're finally going to see a Sunday bus. There we go. It's actually one of the most impressive cockpits I've seen in the game thus far. There's a lot of detail there.
Yeah, the artists that we have working really hard having to do these custom cockpits for all of our vehicles, and they turned out really nicely.
The issue is, how do you encourage players to actually get into a Sunderer in the first place?
I love the Sunderer. I mean, it's one of my favorite vehicles. I in the playtest, I get in them all the time. Sometimes just by myself because I just like rolling around in the Sunderer, you know, causing a bunch of confusion.
You can actually. You can become a wonderful bullet magnet if you charge directly to the base. Like, oh, it's a Sunderer full of guys. Actually not. It's just a lone Sunderer attracting a lot of fire, and then your tanks can move in behind.
Yeah, or it's like the President thing. There's 3 vehicles. Which one? Which one is the VIP?
Yeah.
You have your Sunderer. Maybe it's just one guy, and they take out and try to fire all the bullets on that one guy. They blew up the Sunderer that has one guy in it. Next thing you know, the Sunderer behind it, 10 people blow out of it.
Sunderer is something of an all-terrain vehicle in that something that big and that powerful can drive over pretty much anything, including other tanks. Speaking of tanks,
come on and see, pull together.
New Conglomerate are starting to roll out with armor of their own.
That was a nice shot.
It was. Fortunately.
Oh, yeah. Fortunately, with this build, we have the debris kind of being there a little bit too long.
Yep.
So he ran into the debris. It shouldn't happen.
Well, I've got a quick lull in the action. We're going to throw it on over to Maggie with an interview for, yet again, one of the guys who's just finished playing Planetside 2 for his first impressions of the game. Take it away.
Hi, I'm with Greg, was that right?
Yes, Greg. Yeah.
All right. So, what faction did you get to play today?
The one that's actually right behind me.
The New Conglomerate. How did you feel about it?
I felt pretty good. So it's 3 factions going for 1 base, essentially, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. No, this scope was enormous. It was this guy right here. He's on my faction.
He definitely is on your faction.
Good work. Good work, soldier.
So this is actually just one of our bases. We have 9 bases on this single continent, and you don't have any transition or zoning in between that. Do you have anything else that you wanted to tell us? What was your favorite thing so far?
Well, I was wondering how the like infantry would play out. Like the guns, they feel right, you know, and driving it. Flying is pretty difficult. I had a hard time. I feel like my teammates were pretty upset with me when I crashed a couple of times. But yeah, I like the. There's the guy with the really heavy guy that's, you know, kind of like a mech almost.
Oh, the mech suits.
Yeah. You feel super powerful in those, and that's awesome.
We have a lot of people who like the Maxes. Well, thank you for joining me. It was awesome. It's great to hear what people have to say, and we are coming back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Maggie. As we see a Fury try to desperately charge into a Mag Rider, which generally doesn't end up so well. The Vada really have some armor dominance out there right now. Whoops.
Yeah.
Still in Alpha, folks.
Alpha. So, I'm trying to see here. Yeah, it looks like the Vanu, they've been just bringing Mag Rider after Mag Rider. I mean, that's you know, can't go wrong with that.
It's a good way to do things. But bear in mind, tanks is, you still need infantry on the ground to take a base. Can't hack with a tank.
Nope. Yeah, I can't drive my Mag Rider into this area that you see this guy's going into right now. This looks like capture point A. Doesn't look like it's defended at all, which is... Oh, nope, there's an infiltrator, and he spots him. That's good.
Yep, Cloak is not perfect. It is a very effective camouflage, but don't expect it to hide you if you're moving around quickly.
Yeah, and we have tons of customization options, too. I mean, the cloak that we have in game right now might not be the best suited cloak for taking a control point, but right now it's a good cloak for being outside on this desert battle.
For once, we've actually got a lull in the action, which is fairly rare. It's not going to last very long.
Well, they're probably all on their lunch break, you know, eating all their sandwiches.
Sandwiches. I wouldn't say no to that right now. Don't remind me.
Okay.
The food lines at E3 are fairly legendary, not in a good way.
Alright, take over B.
Galaxy on the way in right here for the new conglomerate.
Right, bail.
There we go.
There they all go down.
As you can see, the draw actually did work out there. It's a bit buggy at the moment. Sometimes you instantly warp to the ground, other times you don't, and it's effective strategy just to take a point.
Yeah, you saw the overall concept there. They fly over the point, they all drop out. It's a surprise attack of 12 people. Next thing you know, you lose your point.
At this point, they really didn't need to do it, but it was a stylish way to get there nonetheless. It also means the squad ends up being together in the same place, which is useful in and of itself.
Yeah, and now what that Galaxy pilot can do is he can go land the Galaxy, and now they have a forward spawn for that Galaxy.
Great job, NC. Way to take over Bravo.
Usually a good idea. Unfortunately, Galaxy's are large targets, so you got to be careful where you park it.
Definitely.
Park it in the middle of a base that you haven't actually secured, not a wise idea.
Nope.
But if you can secure the area, get good anti-air cover to make sure it doesn't get taken out, or make sure that there's no tanks nearby, then you will do well.
Yeah, and you probably won't be the only Galaxy out there. As you see in war movies, you have the aircraft, and one of the aircraft go flying, crashing and burning, but most of them get there. Just hope that you're not the one that gets targeted.
Gunner for a Liberator at
Switch over to someone that definitely did get targeted. His Vanguard taking a lot of fire there to make his way into the base. At the moment, held mostly by the new conglomerate, although the Terran Republic do have a ticket lead at the moment.
Gunner for the Liberator at
That was nice.
That was very nice. Yeah, that was a nice pickup there on Maverick. Just a random Mag Rider parked in the middle of the base. I know what it is, man. Factions tend to go through vehicles so incredibly fast in this game. Thousands of tanks blowing up every minute.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have all of these players and all of this debris flying everywhere and blowing up. It's
a mess.
Yeah, sometimes you forget how much destruction is actually happening.
It's surprising really the players are actually able to stay alive for so long, even though there's so much going on around them.
Yeah, that's something that I found when I'm doing the playtests. When I play these other FPS games, I'm dying instantly as soon as I pop my head out. But we're able to create a very nice space, make it so you can run around while there's still tons of madness going on around you, and you're just not dying instantly as soon as you peek your head out somewhere.
Yeah, but it doesn't take as long to kill a player as it did in the original. So-called TTK, time to kill, is it's a matter of debate. Some people want you to be in a big armored suit that can take a lot of hits. Other people prefer the more instant satisfaction of a headshot, things like that. So it must be difficult to balance those two desires.
Yeah, it's all personal preference. I mean, a lot of people like the really quick one hit, I shot you one time, you're dead. A lot of people like to sustain a stream of bullets before the person gets taken down. So it's been really hard to fine-tune it. Luckily, we have tons of customization. So maybe you customize it so your bullets do more damage, do fire faster, or maybe you have more armor, or things of that nature to kind of balance it out. But it really is a personal preference.
In this Galaxy gunship. RVS, focus your fire on point B. We need to hold point B. Lots of enemy forces outside of point B.
I'm not sure there was anyone actually in that Galaxy. Generally speaking, you don't want to use a Galaxy as a personal transport, and the game kind of punishes you for that because spawning a Galaxy costs a lot of resources.
Yeah, I mean, I can see people doing that with the Flash, maybe the Lightning, to get in there really quickly.
Everybody bail.
Yeah, these resource values, of course, not actually final, but the Flash is currently the cheapest vehicle and will most likely remain that way.
You see he was trying to customize his gunner spot on his Lightning. For this build, we only have one gunner spot for the Lightning, but of course there's obviously tons of customizations to have for your Lightning.
Yeah, there will be changes available as we go through.
Lots of infantry at point B.
I never liked driving Lightning. It just seemed like you were massively vulnerable, even though you have a lot of freedom with this particular vehicle.
Oh, really? I love the speed of the Lightning. I like going really fast around a corner, kind of looking like you're drifting the Lightning around the side, dust kicking up. But it is very vulnerable.
We always seem to curse players every time we switch to their station.
Yeah,
Which, oh, here's some bullets. Enjoy. Also stress, I think, that there's going to be a lot more spawning points available to you in the full game.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've had it to where that thing has had a scroll bar on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we only have one base right now. I mean, when you have most of the continent, you're going to have a lot of spawn points.
The original game was quite awkward in that respect, if I recall. You could only spawn at, it was like a nearby base, a base that you had locked onto, essentially. You could save yourself to a specific base and respawn there. Then there was a nearby tower, I think the nearest nearby AMS, which is of course a vehicle which isn't in this version of the game. And then that was or Sanctuary, and that was about it. It was quite limiting.
Yeah, I mean, we are doing that with the Galaxy and things like that, because we don't want somebody to spam 100 Galaxies from their warp gate and now they have 100 spawn points. So with stuff like the Galaxy, it's going to be just your closest ones, and then you're going to have your squad list, and then you're going to have the facilities that you own.
Logistics is something of a consideration in this game. It's just not quite as limiting as the original.
No, definitely not. It was also very overwhelming. You would die and see the map, and there would just be these circles everywhere, and it was kind of hard to figure out what you were actually looking at, especially for new players.
Yeah, no real question about that. Not much left of that, Mag Rider. A nice opportunity to bail out. There has been taking a heck of a lot of punishment up to this point. The question is, how do you get into the base from here?
If only he was a light assault, he could jump right in.
He could. Does he risk getting back in the Mag Rider that's on fire, or does he actually just hoof it round the side? Looks like he's going to be taking a little bit of a sprint.
Now, I don't know if you saw to the right there was another little outpost. That's actually part of this Zervan capture point. We kind of made it smaller for E3 so people would just kind of stay to this area. We didn't want people roaming off. But normally this capture point right now internally has 6 capture points.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this is a massive facility to try to take, and that was one of them that he ran by over there.
Just as if you didn't think it was big enough already. 3 points is so passé these days.
Yeah. And the unique thing that we can do is we can move those 6 capture points around. So maybe at Zervan, which is what this amp station is, there's these 6 in these spots. And then now you go to one of the other amp stations, and you think you're in the same spots, but we've moved them around. So we make every base feel unique.
Victory has not eluded us. Fight on.
I am not keen on this TR strategy. It's not, oh, hello. Well, this may not work out so well for our VS friend here. Although I don't believe the grenade connected. There we go. Finished off. Max with a pounder and a flamethrower. Not necessarily ideal for taking out infantry, but at the end of the day, if you throw large explosive grenades at people, they're going to fall over eventually.
I do have to say, I like that TR pose on that kill screen.
That was definitely nice. The kill cam does not show you where you were shot from. That was a change that people immediately wanted.
Yeah, we had a first iteration of a kill cam in there just to kind of see what it was like. The players were very vocal about it. They didn't like it. I think the changes that we made are really, really nice, and it seems to be working out so far.
Yeah, it gives you information. It makes sure that you know exactly what killed you, so you're armed with the info you need to not have that happen again. You realize why it is that things took the turn that they did, but you don't see that sniper that picked you off in his hidden position.
Yeah, correct.
I don't think you should ever really be punished for actually getting a kill, and that seems like what kill cam often is.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many different types of kill cams. The one that we had in there had a camera on you, so it kind of showed your position. There's other ones where it shows you a replay. I mean, it all depends on how you want to set it up. But what we have right now, I really like for the style of gameplay that we really are looking to nail for Planetside 2.
At the forward garrison to get in the Galaxy. We're going to hot drop and see.
It's going to be a Galaxy drop for the Vano, as you probably heard in the background there shortly. The new Conglomerate are also loading up a Galaxy, though they haven't got too many people in it as of yet. We'll hopefully be able to get a shot of the Galaxy drop as it goes on.
This is what I like to see. I like to see the air-to-air combat, people flying around. You really get a sense of scale of this massive continent.
You are in a restricted area.
And this is only a restricted area for E3. Yep. Normally there wouldn't be restricted areas.
Logical thing to do would be to crash into the ground. Definitely didn't work out so well. Now if you want to see a truly bizarre looking scope,
This looks like a VS scope.
Yeah, we haven't actually seen the Vanu sniper rifle. This is a good opportunity for it. This is one of the Vanu sniper rifles. This one actually does fire a straight bolt. It is one of the only ones that does. He's trying to get used to it. There we go. Managed to pick it up.
That was a good shot.
It's going to take a lot of getting used to.
Oh yeah, and we have customizations for this too. I mean, he has a utility that you can slot into his infiltrator, and if he holds down shift, he'll like kind of breathe in and stop moving. And if he holds it for too long, it kind of like makes his scope go crazy. So I mean, you're going to be able to customize every single one of your classes to exactly the type of playstyle you're used to.
He's actually been spawn camping the NC at this point. I'm loving that. It's surprising me that it took so long for someone to do that.
Yeah.
This is an open area. This is even a strategy that was employed in the original Planetside. Vehicle spawning areas were often very exposed, and you've got a lot of people waiting around that area just looking for a vehicle. They're in the queue, and then suddenly they get picked off by an infiltrator, a sniper, a bomber, anything.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to one of these spots and you spawn your plane and it instantly dies to 10 anti-air rockets, you know, you get a good sense of, well, maybe this place is kind of contested. I shouldn't do that again.
Yeah, you do get punished pretty hard for it. Currently, the Terran Republic are going to take this at this rate. The Vanu's going to have to do something pretty spectacular. Now, really, you shouldn't be able to hit that, especially if it's friendly, which it is. I'm glad that those Pounder grenades did miss the Mosquito in the air there. But that's successful defense there for the Terran Republic once again. They're going to be able to hold on for this for a little while.
It would have looked nice, though, if he did explode it.
I'm sure it would have, but I've got to maintain the faction loyalty.
Yeah, I was secretly hoping that he would hit it.
Oh, yes, I know how you get.
Me and my NC tactics.
NC tactics are to hope for the Terran Republic to kill each other. That's a pretty lousy tactic you've got there for the new conglomerate.
Well, you know,
losing.
That's kind of like a handicap. We want to see how you guys fight each other first, so.
I believe we're just switching to the Mosquito that's getting shot by its own max at the moment. So it's going to make its way out of there. These aircraft do actually have afterburners. They can go incredibly fast. For a short period of time at any rate. Fancy flying right here from the Mosquito player. Surprised he hasn't crashed into that. Oh, there we go. He's found the bane of all Planetside pilots. The aerial comm tower has claimed many victims in the past. Will continue to do so, no doubt. Locks on with an air-to-air rocket. That new conglomerate Reaver is toast. There we go. Make his way onto a second one here as well. Now the missiles are very, very effective, certainly, but it usually takes more than one to take them out. The Mosquito's taking a lot of damage. He got hit by one himself, so now it's time to get out. Mr. Adam Clegg is going to have to quickly jump out to do an interview, so we'll be welcoming Maggie back once again to finish it off. We're about 15 minutes out from concluding this particular presentation. But just bear in mind, if you are coming to E3 today, if you're already here, if you are around the booth pretending that you can't hear me, and I know that's not true, then by all means do come down and try the game out. We've got 12 stations available. There's also a theater presentation going on every 15 minutes, if I recall correctly. We do have a countdown timer over the door. If you want to see that, that will give you a full experience of what Planetside 2 actually has to offer. Maggie, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for letting me join you. And also, I'd like to mention, after you do that theater demo, you get a beta key.
You do, yes. There is a reason to do the theater demo beyond seeing how fantastic the game looks. All I can say is I'm seriously looking forward to this actually going into beta. Oh! Yeah, so that can happen.
No, it's a good idea.
And it was fantastic that it did. I did want to see that. And yes, if you want to, it is possible to jump on top of a galaxy in mid-air with a jetpack trooper. So we did see a drop pod actually destroy a Liberator in mid-flight. I was hoping we'd get to see that before the stream concluded. That's amusing. I like that a lot. This guy's a monster. Glad that he's on our side. By our side, I mean my side.
Oh man, he's got an enemy right to the right of him also.
This is going to get a little bit messy for him, I think.
Or maybe not.
Nope. That's called a Splattermax. It's not the official name for it, but we like to call it a Splattermax. It's called the Scatter Cannon, which is it's a double-barreled shotgun attached to each arm. We like to call it the Splattermax for a very good reason. Anyone that gets in close to that thing is going to be a stain on the wall.
Definitely.
The TR perhaps have the most traditional set of sights. I mean, this gun seems identifiable. It's very similar to a traditional assault rifle using a traditional scope. The TR are all
more
about
like a carbine rifle, actually.
Yeah, fair enough. There are various types of rifles available. The carbine for the light assault.
We have a variety of different carbine rifles.
Indeed. And you've also got LMGs as well for the heavy assault.
That's for heavy assault, correct. So every class kind of has a different weapon group that they can use. And between that we have a variety of weapons that they can use and switch out. And they're all side grades. None of them are more powerful than the other. So as a first day player, so as a first day player, you won't feel like you have a huge disadvantage. It's just your friends might have more utilities to bring to the table than you do.
Yeah, that was the way Planetside as well. It was when you gained levels in the original Planetside, you'd gain certification points that allowed you to do more stuff. But you could do everything from the start. You couldn't do everything at once. If you wanted to use a heavy assault weapon, that might be the only thing you certify into, so you don't have access to vehicles. That's some nice maneuvers. He doesn't get away though. Nice pick up there by the Mosquito.
We can both like that. The Reaver dying.
There's another opportunity, but it takes a lot more than a couple of missiles to bring down a Galaxy.
Yes, Galaxies have a lot of armor. They're really slow.
Big fat targets.
Yes, delicious targets.
Absolutely.
They're quite delicious.
do you like experience? Then boy, do we have the sandwich for you. We like to call it the Galaxy Sub.
Yes.
12 delicious flavors.
Yeah, over a squad into a Galaxy.
Gets unpleasant.
And right there you just saw him do a barrel. And he's going to keep doing that.
Yes, thanks Slippy.
It's pretty fun. And this is actually a good view. You're getting to see the whole base as well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the third-person view for the aesthetics. Not so big a fan for actually fighting in it.
Oh no, I wouldn't fight in it. I think it's great for when you're trying to transition between fighting and then dodging and kind of just maneuvering around. I don't think he's going to live.
I don't know if he's got a light assault.
Yes,
he is. He can do it then. He can use his jump jets to slow his descent, in fact.
I didn't know if he was going to have enough fuel to make it from that far.
Oh, he was lucky, yeah. That's the wonderful thing about a light assault. There is an ejector seat utility item that you can get, which will allow you to safely fall to the ground. But if you're flying as a light assault currently, and you bail at the right time, you can just jump jet down to safety rather than being a stain on the ground as you fall.
Well, and we also take into effect how fast you're going down, so it's going to cost you more resources that way, because you're, the pressure of coming down. So sometimes you might kill yourself.
Yeah, sometimes that might happen to you. Which is why I deliberately switched there in order to humiliate the new conglomerate once again. Seems to be working out fairly well for us so far. We have plenty of pilots willing to sacrifice themselves for a cheap laugh.
Ooh, and you get to listen to some new conglomerate music then.
That's something I haven't heard a lot about. The original Planetside had some great music.
And we will continue to have great music in our game as well. And each faction has their own theme.
In fact, as I recall correctly, in the previous game, there were themes for losing a base and gaining a base and things like that as well. Which did sound pretty fantastic.
Yeah, we will, as you can see, we already have the overview guy who kind of tells you what's going on when a base is captured or when it's not. So we'll continue to progress and add more things to that.
Switching over back to just a little bit more Reaver gameplay. Hopefully not crashing into a cliff.
Maybe he'll crash into the amp station.
Maybe he'll crash into the amp station. I'll tell you. We curse everyone that we view. We switch over, they immediately die. That's great.
Yeah, people are saying that we should make a suicide drinking game.
I don't want to die today.